Welcome back to Java and Joy. So happy you are here. We are going to cover what is really hiding in our food and why we should be checking the labels of everything we buy. This is one I feel very strongly about and that I think is becoming more and more necessary as the food industry changes, as the American culture of food changes. Um, I think you're going to be shocked at the things that you might not know are in your food. So that's what we're going to be covering today. I think it's going to be a big eye opener, and I think it's something people really need to know more about. We are not properly informed. So that's what we're going to be talking about. But first, I do want to mention that if you are not already a member of the Joy Circle, go check it out at carlajoywellness.com. Go to the Joy Circle tab. That is my online community where we do monthly challenges and we do ladies' night events. We do trivia and giveaways, and it's a fun community. It's a great place for accountability if you're looking for that, support, and just other women who are on their own journeys with health and wellness and beauty. And it's just a great place to connect and a fun environment to set and reach your goals, and also just to support and cheer other women on. So go check out the Joy Circle. Do not miss out on that. And as always, let's do our little warm up here. Let's settle in, get comfy, get our Java, our little drink ready. If you're not a coffee drinker, that is okay. You are still welcome here. You can drink water, you can have a cocktail, whatever you choose. This is your you time. So put everything else aside, relax, release the tension in your body, and just enjoy this time doing something good for yourself. All right. So cheers to that. Let's get a sip and let's dive in, because this is a really important topic that I am very passionate about. It'll probably come through in my voice. I honestly believe that we are not taught properly to investigate our food. I think we just trust whatever is in a package. I think we trust it if it's on the shelf. I think we trust it if we're told it's okay. And I think that we shouldn't, honestly. That might be a controversial take, but it is how I feel. And there's more and more studies coming out to prove that there are toxic, poisonous things in so much of the things that we consume. So we're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about reading those food labels so you can see what's hiding in your food, okay? And please keep in mind, this is not about having a complicated diet. We're not talking calorie counting or whatever. This is just being aware of what you're eating. This is you just having the information, and then you can choose to do whatever you would like with it, okay? But the main message I want you to take away from this is that the front of the products you buy are meant for marketing. They're meant to make you want to buy them, okay? The back of the packages is where the actual information is. And in fact, the smaller the print, the more important it probably is. And that's scary, right? So remember that, though. If you take nothing else out of this episode, I want you to remember that, okay? So let's talk about why we don't want to be fooled by the front of a package. So lots of common buzzwords that companies use on the front of packages are things like healthy, natural, whole grain, organic, sugar-free, low-fat, made with real ingredients, gluten-free. You've seen it on everything, right? All these buzzwords, things that sound great. And these words can be helpful, but they don't automatically mean they are healthy. Companies know that these words will sell products. Two products can have the same claim on the front, but then they're different ingredient lists entirely. So always flip the package over. Read the ingredients. And I'm not talking about the nutrition panel. I mean, you should read that too. You should know how many grams of sugar you're containing or you're consuming, or how much fat, whatever, right? But really, we're just talking about the ingredients. That's it. If you pay attention to nothing else, just pay attention to the ingredient label. The little small print that's down below the nutritional label. It's even smaller and harder to read. Carry a magnifying glass if you gotta, okay? But the simple rule that we really need to remember is that the shorter that list is, probably the better. 99% of the time. You want that list to be as short as humanly possible, okay? And you're going to ask yourself when you read your ingredients, do you recognize these ingredients? Can you pronounce them? Would your grandmother know what they are? Would she have cooked with them? Ask yourself these things. Like, I mean, when you look at an apple, what's the ingredient of an apple? An apple. What's the ingredient in salmon? It's salmon, right? And I'm not saying that every packaged food is bad, okay? But we're looking for packaged foods that are as close to their natural form as we possibly can get, because that means it's less processed, and less processed means fewer unnecessary ingredients that are usually causing more harm than good. Okay, so remember, fewer ingredients equals better. All right, and then next you're going to look for added sugars. Sugar is not just in desserts, guys. Like, please understand that. Look in your yogurts, your breads, your granola bars, your pasta sauces, your salad dressings, your cereal, your protein bars, those healthy, quote unquote, healthy protein bars that you're consuming. Most of them, not all brands, most of them are chucked full of sugar. In fact, some of them have more sugar in them than a Snickers bar does. Go look at it. I think you will be shocked. And keep in mind, it's not always just going to say sugar. They like to hide that from us too. They like to use like the word cane sugar or corn syrup, brown rice syrup, dextrose, maltose, fruit juice concentrate, agave. All that is sugar. All of it is sugar. Your body will look at it as sugar. It will process it as sugar. Okay? So look for those words in there. Okay? Because sugar, that's what's going to disrupt your energy. It's going to cause more cravings for you. It's going to make it harder for weight management. And it's definitely going to make it hard for you to manage your blood sugar. Whether you have diabetes or hypoglycemia or any other underlying issues, even if you have none of that. When your blood sugar is stable, you feel better. You don't have the highs and the lows and the dips and the energy levels. You don't have as bad of cravings. You just feel better overall, less brain fog. I mean, we can go on and on about the effects of sugar, guys, but just know that sugar affects so many things, and we really should be limiting that as much as possible, okay? And just because something isn't candy or a dessert doesn't mean that it's low in sugar. I'm telling you, I have seen bread that has more sugar than a candy bar. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. So watch for those sugars, okay? And also be careful with artificial sweeteners. And sometimes this can be even worse. I mean, these are linked to all kinds of health problems. I mean, even as bad as cancer, okay? Things like aspartame, sucralose, saccharin. I think there's one that's called like ACE-K. It's all artificial sweetener. And I understand that some people have dietary restrictions where they can't have sugar, and that artificial sweetener is the only way they can have certain things. But please, please limit it as much as you can. Because it's actual scientific proof that these things are causing tumors and so many other health ailments. Okay, so those artificial sweeteners are nothing to be playing with. All right. So just remember, things that say sugar-free doesn't mean that it's healthy. Okay. In fact, sometimes that can make you crave sugar even more by giving it the false sugar. So keep that in mind. Okay. But just because it says diet doesn't mean it's healthy. It doesn't mean you should drink more of it or eat more of it because it says diet, whatever drink, insert whatever your favorite, thing in a can is, does not mean that it is healthy. It does not mean that it is safe, and it does not give you free range to just knock it back. Okay. So keep that in mind. Sugar-free, diet, all that stuff does not mean healthy. You need to focus on real food first. So that kind of covers our sugar part. Now let's talk about oils. And I think this is one that's definitely not discussed enough. Okay. You want to consume things that have like olive oil and avocado oil. Those are two like heart healthy, much cleaner, better options for your body. Okay. But the problem is most processed foods, they actually have more like highly refined oils in them. Excuse me. I'll have to try to edit that out. A little sneeze out of nowhere. Gotta love seasonal allergies. As I was saying, most processed food has refined oils in there, or things like vegetable oil, right? So things when you see canola oil, vegetable oil, all those, they use those more often because they're cheaper, first and foremost, and they're more shelf stable. So they make things last longer. So that's why those are used more often than the avocado oil or the olive oil. But they are not good for you at all. Okay, so remember that. Watch the oils. Eliminate as many of those other oils as you possibly can. Okay? And then the next one is going to be things like preservatives. So nitrates and additives. So these could be like actual preservatives. These could be nitrates or nitrites, but also artificial colors, artificial flavors. So think about things when you see like caramel coloring, red dye number 40 or whatever the numbers are. And definitely nitrates and nitrites. All of those things are meant to keep things better longer. That's why they are quote unquote preservatives. Okay. But they are extremely toxic. Extremely toxic. In fact, I believe the FDA is now working on getting all those red dyes and yellow dyes, and I don't even know how many what there is, but like caramel coloring, all those kind of things. We're working on getting those out. And I want you guys to really let this sink in for a moment here. All these things that I'm naming to you right now aren't even allowed in other countries in the food. In Europe, go to Europe, none of this is even allowed in the food. Whether they put it on the label or not makes no difference. It's not allowed in the food because it is poison, and they know it, and they don't allow it. So we are way far behind in America getting this stuff out of our food. So in the meantime, that's why we have to be diligent about making sure this stuff is not in what we are eating, or at least limiting it as much as you possibly can. If you can eliminate it, great, but at least limit it, okay? But it just goes to show you there's a reason it's banned in so many countries. They wouldn't just ban it to ban it, right? They're not going to just ban it to make everyone's lives easier. That's for sure. Okay. So just keep in mind, these things are banned in so many places. So just remember that. Okay. So, and again, when you're looking at these ingredients, I don't want you to feel like the goal has to be perfection. It's just about being able to make better choices more often. So that's why we're reading those ingredient lists now. Okay. And we really need to be shifting our mindsets here on what we eat, instead of like worrying about what's going to make me lose weight or how much I'm eating of something. You really need to be looking at food is fuel. And if you feed it the right ingredients and you limit the not so good ingredients, your body will do the rest of the work for you. Okay? Like by default, it will just become healthier for you. And your body's always working for you every day, right? Your heart, your brain, your muscles, your hormones. And if you fuel it well, you fuel it like you are supposed to and keep the poison out, you're going to have better energy and better focus and better digestion and better weight management, less cravings, an improved mood, that less brain fog, especially for us women over 40 who are desperately in need of more energy and less brain fog. The answer often starts with what we are feeding our bodies. It's not about eating less or weighing less or taking supplements. Not that any of that is wrong, but a lot of the time it just boils down to what you are putting in your body every single day. And I'm not pointing blame here. I am just as guilty of not knowing or not knowing any better, right? Of what we've put in our body, because it was fed to us as kids. It's been fed to us for years and years and years. We don't know any different. I mean, how many of us have picked up a snack cake package and tore open that wrapper and eaten it and thought nothing of it? We were like, oh yeah, it has sugar in it. It's not great, but as long as I don't eat a ton of it, I won't gain weight. Or if I eat less of it, I'll lose weight. Or like, we never actually think about what it is damaging on a DNA cellular level in our body. So we need to stop looking at these things as weight loss or whatever and look at it as fuel versus poison, because that honestly is the difference. Food is either fuel or it is poison. If it's poison, it's not actual food, right? So that's why I say really focus on how you fuel your body. And here's where I'm going to challenge you this week, okay? I want you to pick 3 foods, packaged foods that are in your pantry. And I want you to look at the ingredient label. Just 3. Just go in there and grab 3 things, okay? You're going to look at how many ingredients it has. How many of those ingredients can you recognize and or pronounce? And you're going to say, is there a different version of this product that I could be buying instead that has fewer ingredients and that would be a less processed option the next time I buy it? We're not aiming for perfection. We're aiming for awareness here and making changes where we can, because let me tell you something, small changes add up. Every food choice is a vote for your future health, so to speak, okay? Feed your body what it truly needs. Your body will reward you automatically with better weight management, energy, mental clarity, just overall wellness. When you treat it right, it will treat you right in return. So what's those items that you're going to check in your pantry this week? Send me a message. Let me know. I'm curious what you find in your pantry that you didn't realize was there. Like, what ingredients stood out the most to you, or which products were you the most shocked by? I wager a guess here that 90% of my listeners are going to find something they didn't know was lurking in the darkness of their pantry, so to speak. Not to be dramatic, but this is dramatic. I mean, I'm sorry, but this is your health, and it should be taken seriously. And to be honest, I get frustrated because I don't feel like we are properly educated and informed on what we put on in our bodies on a day-to-day basis. And I do feel like packaging labels mislead us. I think that they want to sell, and that's all they want to do. Most of them. I am not going to say every company, because there's plenty of companies that I frequently shop now that have products that I have swapped out and now use that actually care about the ingredients that they're putting into your body. So there are good ones for sure. I've been able to find a great amount of them, okay? But you have to be diligent in looking, and we don't know what we don't know, right? So that's a big thing right there. Just being educated so that you can make the right choices for you and your family. That's what this is about. That's what I'm coming here to do to you. It's not, I don't want you to have fear. I don't want you to feel like you have to be completely perfect. I don't want you to have to go out and purge your entire pantry and start from scratch, but just start making those small changes. Start finding things that you can swap, because little changes add up. We all know that small changes are big results, right? So keep feeding your body what it truly needs, all right? But send me a message and let me know what you discover, what you end up swapping out. Feel free to reach out if you're looking for suggestions for swap outs. I just sent in one of my Joy Circle newsletters a kind of a cheat sheet list that I have. It's like 8 or 9 different snacks that I have swapped out over the last probably 6 months to a year. Better versions of those snacks that I have found. So I'm happy to share those with anybody who would like that information. Just reach out, okay? But just remember to start small, but be consistent, and just start reading those labels. Just educate yourself. Just have the awareness so that you can make better decisions. Sound good? All right, guys. Let's take one last sip of Java. Cheers. Cheers to not living in the darkness and seeing the truth and doing better things for ourselves. And let's shift back into our normal day here. And of course, as always, thank you so much for joining me. I hope this conversation poured a little joy into your day. And I say that, obviously, this isn't something that's like, oh, uplifting and positive. But I mean, it really, truly is, because by you making better decisions for you and your family and your body, you're going to feel better. They're going to feel better. And that way you have more joy, right? Less bad, more good, right? And that's what bringing joy to other people is all about. So I hope that this helped you. Share this with a friend. Please share this with everyone you know. Let them have this education and this information as well. Pay that forward. Okay. So keep spreading the joy, keep spreading the info, keep sharing, leaving me reviews. I appreciate all of your reviews. It allows me to continue to bring you these episodes for free every single week. And I appreciate you taking that, 30 seconds of your time to fill in the stars and leave a little comment. I really appreciate that. And if you need any resources from me whatsoever, check the show notes, or you can go to carlajoywellness.com. Everything is there for you. And you can come play with me on social media at Carla Joy Wellness on pretty much every platform. So love seeing you guys there. But that is all I have for you today. So until next time, keep finding your joy one sip at a time.